This is a big honor for me because, typically throughout my athletic career, when we're receiving awards or accolades, it's typically for the things that you do on the field, the Super Bowls, going to the Olympics, stuff like that. But, this is so meaningful to me because it's kind of embodies the journey that I went through behind the scenes that people didn't get to see. Before I was in the NFL and going to the Olympics and stuff, I was just a kid growing up in Columbus, Ohio. My dad had a family-owned junkyard in Springfield, and I was a rugby player, as Rob mentioned. And it's like, how did I become a rugby player? But I had a really unique relationship with my dad. One of a kind father-son relationship, and whatever he did, I did. And obviously, he played rugby, so I played rugby. And, before I knew it, I found myself as one of the better rugby players in the country at a very young age. I represented the United States in 3 Junior World Cups. And my last Junior World Cup, I was my freshman year at Ohio State. And then I kind of found myself playing club rugby here and wanting more. And walking past Ohio Stadium on Saturdays, hearing the roar and just wondering what that was like. And, after kind of building out a really good rugby career for myself, I had to have this conversation with my dad that I think I want to go play football. And it was a really nerve-wracking conversation because obviously he directed me towards rugby. I built a pretty good path for myself, and here I am telling him, hey, I want to go play a sport I didn't even play in high school, and then walk on to the best college football program in the country, and then try to go to the NFL. It was a bit outlandish. But, right away, he was super supportive of me. He had my back. He said, let's do this. If you're going to go for it, give it everything you have, no regrets. And that was huge for me to have his support to go for something like that. But unfortunately, that was the last conversation I had with my dad. He was murdered the next day at our family-owned junkyard in a robbery gone wrong. And, I can say without a doubt that was probably the hardest thing in my life that I had to go through, like no question. And to be here receiving this award, it's hard to put into words because it's so meaningful to me for what I went through in that. And it was so special. People go through adversities that are extremely tough, like Tyson went through some really hard things. But ultimately, those adversities can become a crutch. They can become an excuse, and they can, and understandably so. A lot of people would look at me and be like, "Man, he lost his dad in a way no one should lose him," and understandable that he had to go through that. But I think the people who overcome that and have success, really have a different mindset. And I definitely had a different mindset. And I'll never forget. A few weeks after my dad had passed, I was kind of a shell of myself upstairs at my mom's house, and she came up to me in tears. But I was very thankful for her that she had the strength to kind of say what I needed to hear, not necessarily what I wanted to hear. And that was, Nate, you need to live a life your dad would be proud of. He would hate to see your life ruined because he's gone. And, that was the moment for me where everything changed. And I stopped feeling sorry for myself. I stopped living in hate and kind of had an attitude of gratitude. I was very grateful for the father that I had, for the 19 years that I had him. I had more of a father figure than most people do in a lifetime. Just grateful for him, the leadership that I had, all those things. I was just extremely grateful. And, fast forward on, I've got this different mindset. I end up walking onto the football team at Ohio State. I was all business, walked on, made it obviously to the NFL, played for 10 years and went to the Olympics, and that was all great. But I always kept that message, close to my heart, to be grateful and make the most of every opportunity. We all face adversity in our life. Sometimes it's tragic, sometimes it's things that you wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy. But, ultimately, you can't let that stuff define you. You're defined by how you respond. You're defined by how you get back up and you just take one step and then another step, and just living every day in the moment, focused with gratitude to take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. And, I just want to say I'm extremely appreciative and grateful for this honor. And, you know, I'm hopeful that I come back here and I get to, you know, listen to some stories of some of these young, courageous men that, you know, weren't afraid to, you know, find out how great they could really be. So, thank you.